Good morning, world. Aries. She got one pebble of food. That's so funny. All right. Getting my Thrive on. I'm about to go hit Cruise Lake with Jasmine this morning. Shortly after I finish my mental prep. So I'm getting my Thrive on and getting my mental prep going, and so I thought I'd hop on. I have such an ache in my heart today. I feel like I always carry an ache in my heart. Let me just tell you. I just don't know. I miss my mom something awful today. That's just, yeah. I miss my mom something awful, and I am having physical pain in my body that is stemming from my childhood. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. I got stuff to do. Like I said, I'm going to Cruise Lake with Jasmine, and I'm going to start doing that every weekend. One Saturday, I'm going to take one dog. The next Sunday, the next day, I'm going to take the next dog, because I can't quite do two at the same time. I can. I need them to get a little more well-behaved when we're out on the leash in that kind of area, is all. They get excited, so... Anyway, just getting my Thrive on my morning mental prep before I head out to the park for a little bit, so I thought I'd hop on and do it with you. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday, April 2nd. We're in April already. Can you believe it? Like, it's just one big blob to me. Truly, it is. It's just one big blob to me. Time anymore. Like I said, unless there is a reason for time, like 7 o'clock Cruise Lake opens. Cruise Lake is a park anyway, by the way. That kind of thing. Or I have to be at the Renaissance by 9:30 kind of thing. Otherwise, I don't have to be to work at 8:30, 9:30. I don't really think about time otherwise. I mean, that's a lie. That's why I have timers and alarms, because I can't stop thinking about time, but it's switched now. It's different. Oh, I needed that this morning. Ooh-wee. For sure. All right, guys. Yeah, so time has switched for me. It's kind of turned into one blob. And even when I have to have time because I need a 30-minute timer set, that's different. But like I have to leave the house by 8 o'clock, right? Even then, I'm not really... I'm still just going through my business, just going through my day, not thinking about the time, because there's an alarm or something set for, an appointment or something like that. So time has just turned into one big blob for me, which is kind of exciting, because time is a man-made construct. So it's not... Because I'm thinking more in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, I think that's where it's kind of blobbing out. And I'm cool with it, because I don't want to be stuck in a man-made state, really. It's so... As limitless as it is, we are still human. So that by nature... I can't just zoom out into space and hang out in space. I can if I think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration and become those things. That's a whole other conversation. Oh my. Y'all people should be doing some reading. All right, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Let's see, for today, April 2nd, Sunday, we're going to learn how to overcome. Depending on where this goes, I could use this in a number of areas. I don't want this to be too loud. You overcome by accepting that there is no alternative except to pick yourself up, dust off, and continue moving forward. You don't give up or give in, even on the days you want to, because you know your life matters. Overcoming adversity is what makes you resilient, and resiliency is what allows you to wake up each day with a sense of purpose, regardless of what you are experiencing. It teaches you that the fragility of your experience is not a curse, and it offers a greater vision of renewed possibility. This keeps coming up for me because this is one of the things that I want to teach, figure out how to teach, spread the word, whatever, enlighten, show the way, whatever, is the detachment of the negative connotation, negative experience, feelings, emotions that we have with mistakes and fear. And because it's not a bad thing. It's fear. Mistakes are not a bad thing. You're going to make a mistake because you don't start out knowing how to do everything. So you think about it that way. Mistake is not a bad thing. You have to learn. Thomas Edison, is it? Made like learned 10,000 ways how not to make the light bulb, right? Come on. What if he stopped at like 9,999? Or what if he stopped at 10,000 and was just like, 10,000, I've done it. Never going to try to find a way to make a light bulb again. Maybe somebody would come along and make a light bulb, but who knows? Michael Jordan, he talks about in interviews. I know I use these examples all the time, but they're so perfect. I need to add to my list is what I need to do. That's what I need to do, is add to my list, because there is no one out there who tried anything, whether they were successful or not, but especially if they were successful, no one out there who's tried anything that has not failed or made mistakes. So, if we can detach, like I said, that negative stigma with those things, we would be, less afraid to face our fears, face everything and rise, because we would understand that it is false evidence appearing real. Fear is something that is so controlling. Even if you think you're not afraid, there's probably something. Maybe it's not that you're not afraid, but you just face your fears, right? But that's just it. That's the key. That's what I want to figure out how to teach and how to portray and how to shift that mindset, right? Of failure is bad and mistakes are bad and we got to be perfect. And I'm just like, imagine a world not without fear, but where we face our fears, where we're not afraid of our fears, where we're not trying to run away from it all the time. Imagine how powerful you would be. You just have to step into that. I'm jumping a little ahead to my gratitude, and then we'll read the law of attraction for today, but I'm so grateful that I am figuring out how to step into my power, as crazy as that sounds to me, because I feel like arrogant to some. This is my own stuff, though. This is my own first 12 years foundation of life that I'm having to reprogram and, help myself to understand that I am powerful and that I can make a difference and that I do matter. And if I matter, I know you matter. But you have to understand that and step into that power and then use that power to change the world by changing yourself and then those around you, right? Oh my goodness. All right. Don't be afraid of fear. Like, I can't face everything. I have face everything and rise, false evidence appearing real. It's so stuck in my head now that I don't really need it, but sometimes it's good to visualize it. And at my day job during the day, my 9 to 5, my computer monitors, I have 2. And down the center, I have some things, affirmations. It starts at the top. It says, believe things are always working out for me. Then I have my affirmations that I say. I am a millionaire. I am an author. I am a Lavelle Brand 40K promoter. I am worthy. I am confident. I am bold. I am strong. I am changing lives. And then it says, fear, face everything and rise, false evidence appearing real. And then the last one says, this mess is your message. This test is your testimony. Face everything and rise. I can't. What is the worst that's going to happen? I'm stuck on this fear thing. And it's not, I can't help it. It's just that I know a little something about fear, right? I used to not think that I was afraid from, there was fear that stemmed from my childhood. I didn't connect really being afraid of that happening again. And I don't know that that's what it is, but I know that there are moments that I know it stems from that because things seemingly irrational will pop up. Like lately I've had this crazy thing popping up in my head that my dad is going to show up at my work. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's watching this. I haven't seen the man since 1990. Maybe at some parole hearings, because we did go to parole hearings. I don't know. I don't even remember. And then this is where I start missing my mom because I would call my mom and I would ask my mom these things since I don't remember right now. So it's a heavy day. But my point is I know a little something about fear. And so don't wait until you're 45 to face whatever fear you're dealing with, man. Do it now. Your life is going to be so much better and so much happier and so much more joyous. And you're going to experience so much more things. And it's going to be so much more hard and scary and difficult and confusing and frustrating. But if you stop looking at them as bad things and look at them and your emotions as a gauge, as information on, okay, how do I feel? What's going on? Why do I feel this way? How do I change it? There may be some other questions leading up to that, but how do you change it? First of all, you can change it by thinking about something else. If there isn't anything that you can do to change the whatever that brought this up, right, in the moment, then you need to leave it alone in the moment and go find some joy and gratitude, because you can't do anything to change the situation. So there's no point in taking the only time that you have in your life, I miss my mom, wasted away by fear and worry and stress about something that you can't even do anything about in this moment. I started asking myself, what's the worst that's going to happen? For me, that's like, I would say death, but I don't even, that's not worse for me. That's worse for my family and friends and people that care and love about me, right? That's not worse for me. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not running out in front of the bus or anything like that, but I'm not, and I don't want to die right now. I have a lot of things I want to do. So it's not that, but I'm just not afraid of it. I'm not living my life afraid if that's what's going to happen. So when I say what's the worst that's going to happen, death for me isn't really necessarily that. I mean, because of the way that I perceive death and death, but that's the answer I go to. Or like the first 12 years, it's not that that's the worst that's gonna happen, it's just that I've already been through the worst that's gonna fucking happen to me. I mean, even if if I was fucking kidnapped in like sex trade or whatever, anything like that, you're gonna fucking know you were in it with me. I can promise you that. Because you will kill me. You are gonna know that you were in it with me, and I will fight you to the death before you especially if you were trying to sexually assault me in some way. So that's kind of where I came to when I started, like, let me just face my fucking fears, because I've already been through the worst that's ever going to happen to me, because I'm not afraid of death. I don't, that's not worse for me. That's worse for the people around me. I am determined to figure out how to help, how to teach this stuff. I hope that I am. That's the whole point in this. I mean, it helps me too. It makes me feel good getting on here talking. It's kind of like a journal. Really, it's kind of like a journal. So, but let me just read this. I need to get the rest of my Thrive in me and do my high ups and my gratitude to do my writing so I can take Jasmine out to the park. Because I do have other things to do, so I am on a little bit of a time limit here. Just that I want to be mindful of the time, and I've already babbled on for probably 15 minutes now, right? 20 minutes now? All right, guys. Let's see. The law of attraction says test your emotional ability. I apologize. My leftover mascara, which actually it doesn't matter if it's leftover. I can put it on fresh. The shit clumps. I need some better stuff. Oh, there comes my husband through the door. Okay. Clumpy mascara. Ugh. All right, guys. The law of attraction today says we're going to test our emotional ability. Oh, my goodness. I triple dog dare you to practice this. Listen up. Close your eyes and imagine a tragic event. Parentheses, the loss of a loved one, the hurt of rejection, the suffering of a pet or your child, for example, and parentheses. And here he comes back through the door. Hi, love. Uh-oh, let him out. Hold on, guys. Come on in. All right. So sorry about that. Dog parenting. Test your emotional ability. Close your eyes and imagine a tragic event, perhaps the loss of a loved one, the hurt of rejection, the suffering of a pet or your child, for example. Think of a future event that could also make you heavy-hearted. If you felt your eyes welling with tears, a lump in your throat, heaviness in your chest, and unmistakable waves of sadness washing over you, the good news is that you will also likely be able to feel the opposite emotion of happiness, joy, and delight. You can call up a negative emotion, examine where it came from, try to understand what it might be teaching you, and expiate it from your subconscious in numerous ways, including EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, something I'm very interested in. I got a story about that too. Self-hypnosis, dream work, and lucid dreaming, art therapy, mask making, and other self-help methods. So, many years ago, 25 years ago, my husband and I have been together 18 years, so I'm thinking it was before that. My mom did EMDR one time. I had told her, I was like, oh, I'm interested in that. And she told me that she would never fucking do it again. When I talked to my therapist at the time about it, I talked to her about that or hypnosis or something because I did not remember. I do not remember things. That's a whole memory and things. I'm working on that. That's different for me now. I still struggle with things, but there's a different understanding there. And excuse me. So back 25 years ago, it was my early 20s. I met my husband when I was 27, so it had to be in the 7 years before that. When I talked to my therapist about doing something like that, because I couldn't remember, all I could remember were a few images of me and my dad together in inappropriate ways. More than a few, but some linger, some pop up. She told me that it was their duty as therapists to make that. She didn't want me to do it. She told me that it was their, and she wouldn't do it for me, EMDR, hypnosis, to help me revisit those times. And because she had a duty to, how did she say, if they felt like that the person was going to be re-traumatized by the memory of these events, it would then not be beneficial, right, to do it, because you're just you're not really helping, you're re-traumatizing. So, but that was 25 years ago plus, so I'm essentially doing that now without the EMDR, because when they pop up, instead of pushing them out of my head, I let them linger and I visit them and I explore them and I actually leave myself in that moment, experiencing that essentially again, because the feelings that come with it, I often wonder, I don't remember. I just see images. I don't remember really being hurt. I know that it did, right? But so, yeah, I don't even, I said all that to say, I don't know. But testing your emotional ability, understanding that you can make yourself feel in a negative way. Why can't you make yourself feel in a positive way? So I wanted to tell a story about my EMDR conversation is just another little insight about the life that I lived in the first 12 years and how bad that it was, and what I'm working to overcome and from that time period. So, but testing your emotional abilities, I think, is a great way to look at, if you can make yourself feel like shit, you can make yourself feel good too. It's your own mindset that's telling you either way. So I'm going to stop now, and because I've definitely just talked about a bunch of different stuff. That's what I do. But I talk from my heart, and if there's something that I'm talking about and it brings up a story or something that I remember for myself, then I have to share it so you know my experience with that particular whatever it is. So, one day I will be as good as the speakers that get on the stage and speak to you, and keep it all together and have a nice flow and make sense, right? That's my goal, is to be so good, maybe to be a speaker, who knows? But I don't really care what it turns out to be, just as long as I've helped somebody find a little bit of joy and peace and happiness in their life. Because it is possible no matter what. No matter what, it is still possible, even with all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now. Primarily our country. Because other countries are standing up for themselves. Anyway, it is possible to come from beyond the depths of hell and still be a happy, joyous, caring, kind, loving person, human. But it is a choice. Take it or leave it. I'm going to go do my I ams. Thanks so much for listening to me. If you listen to me. I'm going to go do my I ams and my gratitudes and my 10-minute writing dump, and then I'm going to take my dog and get out in the woods for an hour and recharge. So I encourage you all to do the same thing. Take 5 minutes, find 5 things that you're grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours, over the weekend, what have you. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for my husband. I don't know. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for everything that he does, for his patience, for his understanding. Like, I don't really talk to him about my dad stuff a lot. You know, I don't. Because I don't, that's kind of probably a hard position for him to be in, right? But I have, and I did, like yesterday I talked to him about something that I'll talk about with you guys maybe another day. I'm just very grateful for his patience, his understanding, his support. He's the best house bitch on the fucking planet, let me tell you. Like, I don't like to say that term, because he's not a bitch, but he's great at everything. So go do your gratitudes, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hey, love, that's the man I was just saying I'm so grateful for, of course. But while he burps, that's joyous. What can you do? All right, guys, I'm going to go get out in the woods for a minute. Go do your gratitudes. Take 5 minutes, find 5 things that you're grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours. I'd love to know what you're grateful for. Drop it in the comments below, and we can share in our gratitude together. I will see you all tomorrow at 7:10, same bat channel. I can't say same bat time because I was on at a different time today, but it's Monday, so it'll stay at 7:10, and I'll see you then. As always, guys, peace and love. I gotta get this down.